brand for whether it's clothing or merchandise or anything physical, right? It doesn't matter how your logos and stuff look. It really matters how consistent you are and how good you tell your story. So that's what I want to talk about today. My name's Terrence Harris, and I want to open up with big energy. I want to ask you how y'all doing, what's going on. I'm back here making merch, as y'all can see. You feel me? So I was like, let me take a break. Let's reflect on what we've been doing today, and like let's document this process, and then also bring everybody a part of it. So if you're watching this, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe or comment. Definitely make sure y'all just leave something and let me know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just be making these videos for no reason. You feel me? Ain't no need to be doing that. Ain't no need to be making these videos for no reason. So let's get straight started, right? So today I want to just start to break down like consistency matters more than the designs that you make, right? Because like a lot of times people get so caught up in dropping the perfect designs, but you really should, find the capacity of how consistently you can show up, whether that's once a week or once a month, right? I've sold over like 100 pieces now. I sell like hats and T-shirts and stuff, so like, and that's just in this recent drop. Like I've made merchandise for over 5 years for other people, and then I've also been in, just making clothing for about 7 years on and off. But this last 8 months is the longest that I've done it, and I've sold over 100 pieces in a particular hat that I sell. So my brand is called Still Growing. You want to know more about that? I'll put that in the description, or feel free to ask anything in the comments. And one thing I'm noticing that's been working the best is just telling my story. Like, and when I say my story, I mean like Terrence Harris, me, the person's story, and then weaving that into what it means to be still growing. Because a lot of people already know me personally. I mean, you can join the creative community. That's what I mean by people. Because I live in Philly, so I like create events and music and stuff. And then the people I meet in real life, I collaborate with. But then that be giving me a lot of visibility online. So then basically what I do is, I make content online, and then people join this cohort or this digital community I call the creative community, because I feel like we use that word a lot, but I wanted to be the one to really officially stamp it. So, we can move on, right? So, I want to tell the story of Still Growing and why the story is more important than the designs, right? Because that's actually the whole point. So the story behind Still Growing was that, let me know like, if y'all in here. I mean, give me some feedback. I got my alerts going on. But yeah, like if y'all feeling this, let me know. If not, I'm gonna be like, look, bro, wrap it up or do something different. Like, this is why I left. Like, especially if you were watching this and you left. Those comments mean the most to me. Is why did you leave the video? So Still Growing started for me about a year ago now, when I was just going through some music I recorded 2 years ago. Shouts out to my producer, Smooth Waffle. We were making some music, just catching up. And I realized like he was the only person I trusted with my music, especially like even just the pace of how I record. A lot of producers that I would work with, their pace wasn't as, it wasn't like mine. It wasn't as quick. And I'm so used to knocking things out with Berlin. Like he's mixing the music while I'm writing. I'm recording in 1 or 2 or 3 takes. Then I'm doing my ad libs. Like we have chemistry. And I'm gonna make another video about chemistry one day, because chemistry can be infectious. You feel me? Chemistry can start making the people around you want to get to it. So I'm very big on the chemistry that me and him have. So now that we was back working together, I wanted to let him know that I wanted to like just basically level up my sound, and communicated the things that was important to me. So at the time, I didn't know my project was called Still Growing. I was just trying to get back in the studio. You know what I mean? I want to let that be known. Like, Still Growing was not something that I knew I was going to do. So this just goes back to like not having a perfect logo or a perfect idea, because it'll come together once the story comes together. You feel me? So um, next, then I feel like the next pivotal moment was, like I said, that was year one. And after 1 year of having the music in my pocket, I started showing it to my friend Sheen. And Sheen, I asked him, I was like, yo, let me get some creative direction, because I want to carry out this project with a lot more like self acceptance. Because I feel like up to the time then, I was doing a lot of other things for other people, but I didn't have a lot of that confidence in doing things for myself. So if someone else had a project, I'd be ready to put the money up. If somebody else had an event idea, I'd be ready to collaborate. But then when it be my stuff, I'm always looking for validation or somebody else to say that they liked it, the idea. So I started realizing because of how much I teach these things, I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to take your own advice because it's time for you to grow. Like what you've done has gotten you this far, and that's why you've been reputable to other people, and that's why they recommend you. But and when I say you, I'm talking about myself. So let me speak to myself, right? I've become so reputable from the things that I've done to the people that I've known, but that wasn't where I wanted to go. I didn't want to continue to only serve those people. So I had to grow. I had to grow up more, grow out, learn more. So that's what I meant by that, right? It's like I'm not telling nobody else what to do. I want to be clear with my pronouns, but let's move forward, right? So once I decided and declared, like, okay, I want to grow more, and I started talking to Sheen, and he's an expert with like just giving people the information and the tools that they need to be kinder to themselves and just be more gentle as an individual. So he started letting me come to these showcases with him. And one thing that I liked about them was number one, I could get paid. And at the time, I was trying to figure out a way to quit my job. I feel like that was the most important thing to me was quitting my job. And then after that, he eventually became the creative director. And then one day I texted him. I said, "Yo, we should keep um, doing this, but I'm like, I'm still growing, and I think that like we should call the project that like it's still growing." All right. So what do y'all think? Like, how do y'all think that came together? Like, does that sound about right? Like, or does that sound confusing? Is this making sense? Pretty much is what I'm saying, right? Because once I declared that I was gonna call it still growing, I felt like this open pasture became evident to me. It was like, all right, boom. Everything that I really want to do is now very clear to me as far as how to put the music project out, how to heal better into a better person, I should say, or heal in the parts of me better, right? Whatever way you want to word that. But the point is, I started to see it very clearly at that point. So um, from that point, I started saying, all right, well, I got to make some money off this. Like, at the end of the day, man got to pay his bills, right? So once I just declared, like, all right, how am I going to pay my bills doing this? I said, I'm going to make some merchandise. Because that's what I would tell anybody else to do. Use social media, sell your project direct to consumer. And I was selling it direct to consumer, but it wasn't really selling. Like, I was selling a couple of songs here and there, and I could see people were donating to the cause. And then I realized, like, do I really want to be performing all the time? I'm like, not all the time, but I definitely want to be performing. And so even just reflecting on this, I'm like, wow, I probably could have made a lot of money off the music too. And I wouldn't have had to print anything anymore. So I think I need to just definitely dive back into the music part and like go rehearse and get into the active, selling of the music for the project. Because just because it wasn't as immediately returning as the clothing and stuff, that doesn't mean there's not a lot of potential in it. So that's just a reflection for me, which y'all definitely check out Still Growing. I have a few singles out on my even.biz. So if you want more information about that, just hit me up personally or drop a comment. I'll try to get it in the description, but unless y'all show me that that's what y'all really want, then I'm not gonna do all of that. So yeah, that just wraps up that part. I want to take this opportunity to maybe um, take some questions or like highlight all of the important things that were required to make this video as well, because what inspired this video is me watching another video about preparation. And so I said, okay, let me prepare my own spirit and my own mind for what is to come. So when y'all are seeing this video, it'll actually be like 5 weeks later. I'm recording this in October. So When you see it in November when it comes out, or even if you see it years later, right? I want to make sure that this video is something important enough to watch long term. So that's why I came prepared. I got notes too. So I want to do a quick couple teaching moments if y'all are interested. Um, First, I want to talk about getting started. Next, I want to talk about staying consistent. And then finally, I want to talk about telling that story publicly, right? These are all things y'all can watch me doing, man. These are all things that I do faithfully. This is the way that I've gotten here. This is the way that we make it work. So I just want to encourage you all as well to do the same, because I wouldn't tell you to do something that isn't working. You understand? My apologies. I was tempted to share the lie. And I'm interested in knowing how that looks on y'all's end. So at 10 minutes and nearly 11 minutes, 10 minutes and 50 seconds, I'm going to look back at that. That's interesting. So yeah, getting started anyway. That's what we're doing right now, right? I got started immediately. Despite my setup in the background, despite my audio, right? These are things that I normally take care of, despite anything else, right? Despite that, I didn't even feel like doing this, right? I wanted to put myself in the position of knowing that I can get ahead, number one, by putting this video out a few weeks later, but then also meet myself at the version that I want to become, right? That's what people are talking about when they're saying enjoying the process. Excuse me. That's what people are talking about when they're saying enjoying the process. It's like we always know what we want to get done, but it's like on the way there, every step of the way there should be things that you enjoy as well. So my goal is like I want to get 50,000 subscribers up here, just so I know the difference in how much traffic. That's what's intriguing to me. The curiosity of knowing like how much more traffic do you get for your business when you have 50,000 subscribers that you built? Not on no funny stuff, not on no clickbait or rage bait, but like literally, nah, we here because we value this person's perspective. I want to know what that traffic feels like. It's 50,000 people on any given day. That's a stadium. So that doesn't mean you're gonna reach all 50,000 people all the time, but like I'm pretty sure for larger events, you might even expand beyond that. So that's why I'm saying get started anyway, because especially if you're doing things in advance, you can meet yourself at the version of yourself that you really, 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 really want to become. You feel me? Because everything's not going to be perfect, but if you get 1% better and your best time, your last time you did your best, and that means like your best time was your last time, then that means every time you're getting better, right? So if your last time was your best time and you did your best your last time, then every time will be your best time. You feel me? And I think that's just a matter of like challenging yourself, not letting like what's working just be what's working. I'm really big on that as far as like innovating and pushing the envelope, because oftentimes people always want to suggest to me that we do what works. And I'm like, well, we'll do what works, but what's our thing? What's the thing that we do that people will say, well, let's do what they're doing because that works? I'm really big on that thing, like the thing that makes you who you are instead of the thing that you do like everybody else. And so that just brings me into my point of this video again, as far as like why the designs aren't as important as being consistent. Because a lot of times when I had to just get started, I didn't have an embroidery machine. I didn't have all of the different things that people want to have when they get started, right? I didn't have a big studio. I didn't have coat racks and steamers and all of the equipment that people want to have. So y'all let me know, you know what I mean? What's the thing that's really stopping you, right? Because the equipment, I ain't had no equipment. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm saying like, if you like anything I'm doing, if you're subscribed here, if you value this, I eventually got those things, started getting more stuff. That's why I was looking around a little bit, because I'm like, okay, some of the stuff that I got now that I didn't have before, but like, eventually you'll get all of those things. But I didn't get those things from sitting on it, on the idea. Like I only got those things because I started. I didn't have the money to get them until I got them. You feel me? So staying consistent is the next point that I want to make. That's one thing that I feel like people trust me the most for, and that's the part that builds your brand. It's like you wouldn't trust McDonald's if you didn't know when it was going to be open. You wouldn't trust a delivery person if they didn't, keep their word on when they said they were going to get you your stuff. So that's why even with this channel, I decided that I want to have a segment that I put out every Thursday. No matter what the video is, what kind it is, I just want to hold myself consistent with Thursday, and so that y'all can, know that something's coming on Thursdays instead of before. I was all over the place. I was just trying to get videos out however way that I could. So thank you all for sticking through this with me, because this was definitely not how I wanted to do it, but I wanted to make sure I was consistent more than anything else. And so, if y'all are enjoying this, please let me know, because if not, then I'll do something different. But I'm not gonna stop. And I think that's the second part of consistency, is like, it's not about what you like; it's about doing what other people like. So, I want you to be intentional about being consistent, but also be consistent in doing the right thing, because you can consistently do the wrong thing, and that'll make you want to quit more than anything. I feel like that's the epitome of failure. Is just like just doing the wrong thing over and over. Then you finally quit, and then that's the ultimate failure. So yeah, make sure you stay consistent, and I want to weave all of that together. My third thing is like, tell your story publicly. That's what I've been doing the majority of the time here, is telling my story, but weaving in some gems. You feel me? So if nothing else, I want to thank y'all again for the last time. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. Share this, like this, and I will see you all next time. And please give me some ideas of some topics that you all think that I should talk about.